Ephesians 5:22 says,
Mhm.
wives, submit to your husbands as to the Lord.
Mhm.
Do you want to talk about kind of what that actually is talking about, though? 'Cause
Yeah,
it
I
sounds
think
like when we hear it, we're like, what?
yeah,
Didn't
yeah.
think
Andy
so.
Stanley actually does an awesome job, I think, going deep into the subject. He has a really cool series on this. But it's the idea that a lot of people misuse this. The wives submit to your husbands as to the Lord. And so the idea is that people read it and they start speaking to their wives like, you're supposed to submit to me. And it's just the reason it's misinterpreted or misunderstood is because we forget that it's Paul speaking to the wives first, followed by Paul speaking to the husbands. And what he says to the husbands right after, husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. And the reason I love that is because he could have ended saying as Christ loved the church, which is already really powerful, but he really wants to like nail it home. He says, and gave himself up for her. He literally sacrificed himself for the church. He gave everything for the church. He's asking the women to submit themselves to their husbands, but then he's telling the men, but hey, I'm asking you to give everything to your wives, submit yourselves 100%, do everything you can, sacrifice yourself to your wives. And that's why I think it's a verse taken out of context, is I think a lot of men forget that. But then the second piece is that I think it's really important to note when Paul's talking in right there, when he's speaking to the wives, he's speaking to the wives. He's not speaking to the
Right.
husbands. He's saying,
that was good.
wives, submit to your husbands. Men, shut up. Don't read that.
Yeah.
That's not for you. All right.
Yeah.
Don't use that against your wives. That's not the point. And then he speaks to the men.